For the week of December 30, January 3 on The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers preview a threatening time ahead. Remy tries to force his delusional love story on Electra while holding her captive. Later, Will makes a desperate attempt to save her. Katie faces her own past mistakes with artificial intelligence and confides in Ivy. Bill finally gives in and helps Luna behind bars, but he has his own set of demands in return. In a world where nothing is as it seems, only one thing is for certain. It's going to be a dangerous week in Los Angeles. Upcoming highlights: Monday, December 30, episode 9432. Luna begs Bill for help, but he's not willing to act until she reveals the dark truth behind Tom and Hollis's deaths. Electra finds herself at the mercy of Remy and his fantasies. B&B will air on the East Coast and Paramount Plus only. B&B will be preempted on the West Coast for the Sun Bowl. Will stumbles upon a chilling truth, unaware that his life is at risk. Katie confronts her past mistakes and opens up to Ivy about the dangers of AI. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Soap Spectrum. I am Emily here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. On the Monday, December 30 episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers tease that Remy has Electra right where he wants her, right in his clutches. Remy spews out his delusional thoughts and won't let Electra go. Meanwhile, Luna begs Bill for help, and something she says finally makes him act. It sure sounds like a dangerous day on B&B. Previously on B&B, Electra discovered the truth about Remy when she entered his apartment to go to the bathroom. There on the bathroom door were all those awful deepfake images that made her leave her hometown. Electra tried to hide when Remy came home, but he saw her hiding behind the couch. She tried to run, but it was too late. As Electra accused Remy of being responsible for her misery, past and present, he tried to deny it first. Eventually, he admitted that he sent those altered images to Katie because of how much he loved her. Remy rattled on about how he needed to get Electra away from Will, and that she would be so much happier with him. It looks like Remy is lost in his twisted beliefs, and Electra can't snap him back to reality. How can she possibly break free? Meanwhile, Luna tells Bill something that finally makes him want to help her in jail. What could she possibly reveal about the deaths of Hollis and her biological father, Tom? Dare we believe what she says is true? Coming up, Electra finds herself at the mercy of Remy and his fantasies. Luna begs Bill for help, but he's not willing to act until she reveals the dark truth behind Tom and Hollis's deaths. What happened to Forrester Creations' most valuable asset? Friday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful was packed with thrills and chills. As usual, the show delivered and ended with a cliffhanger. However, someone was noticeably absent from the episode. Paging Brooke Logan, Brooke took on the role as the new CEO of Forrester Creations. Instead of celebrating, she had the Christmas blues. Brooke had a case of Ridgitis. She still pined for Ridge despite catching him with Taylor. SC's CEO was supposed to show up for the first day of her new job. Carter and Hope had an important meeting with Fanny Grayson on Friday, December 27. Hope's mom was supposed to be there as well. Carter and Hope want to explore a potential fragrance line. Brooke would have been the perfect person for the job since she successfully launched the Belief brand, but she went MIA. Quitting already? There has to be a good reason as to why Brooke wasn't present for her first meeting. She probably had a Christmas hangover, and not the alcoholic kind. She was still depressed after the holiday. Brooke felt she had made a mistake in accepting the CEO position. She shouldn't worry since she did the right thing. She's making sure that Forrester stays afloat. Brooke might quit faster than she started. She could have second thoughts after her conversation with Ridge. He's convinced that she betrayed him. She could allow him to gaslight her into thinking that and change her mind. Wrong move, on the other hand. Brooke could be convinced to save the company. but she already made her first mistake as CEO. She didn't show up to take charge. Hope and Carter are already making decisions without running it by her first. Speaking of which, Hope should be focused on her fledgling courture line, not on which perfume smells the best. She's still not working to revive Hope for the future. After all, that was her ulterior motive behind the company takeover. Looks like Forrester is off to a rough start in 2025. In Remy's bathroom, Electra hyperventilates in terror as she takes in the collage of herself on the wall. In Forrester's design office, Will and Ivy discuss how perplexing Electra's firing is, and Will declares they have to get the real story. He's sure Electra didn't deserve this. Ivy agrees. They marvel that she was great at her job, and there was nothing to warrant her losing the job that was so important to her. Ivy alludes to it being more vital than anyone realized. Will asks if there's something he should know. He vows he won't give up until he finds out why this happened to Electra or who's behind it. In the main office, Katie fills Carter and Hope in on Electra's photos. Carter thanks her for handling it discreetly. Katie complains that Will knows he's not getting the full story and isn't happy about it, but he clearly doesn't know her any better than the rest of them do. Carter alerts them that Fanny will be there any minute. Katie muses about the singer living in Paris. Carter says he's making a trip there today for a potential collaboration with the company. It's part of his plan to take it to the next level. Fanny has a fragrance. Katie's excited. Just then, Fanny walks in and greets them all with kisses before expressing concern about all the changes. She wants to talk to Brooke. At the jail, Bill flashes to Luna asking him not to abandon her. The door buzzes, and she's led in looking bruised and battered. Bill frowns. Luna can't believe he's there. She cries that she was giving up hope. Bill asks what the hell happened to her. Who did this to you? Luna says the other women bully her all the time and the guards don't even care. She committed terrible crimes, but she doesn't belong there. I don't know how much longer I can hang on. In Remy's bathroom, Electra hears him coming, complaining loudly about cleaning the grill. She hides behind the sofa as he slams into the apartment and stands there fuming. In the main office, Hope tells Fanny that Brooke is attending to some personal matters, so she can't be with them. Carter gushes about her perfume and singing career. Fanny explains she has a talented team. She has them try her fragrance and hopes it captures the beauty and sophistication of Forrester. Katie muses, nice, very nice. Fanny explains about the different types of fragrances and Carter chuckles, I like all three. So does Katie. Suddenly, Fanny gets a message and says she has to go to another meeting. They all thank her, and Fanny says she'll always want the best for Forrester Creations. In the design office, Will worries that Electra will go home if she can't work at Forrester. Ivy worries she's beating herself up when she did nothing wrong. Will knows she didn't do anything wrong. It's something else. I'm not dropping this. In his room, Remy takes off his shirt and walks into the bathroom to wash his face. As he's putting on a clean t-shirt, he senses movement in the other room, where Electra has skittered to the other side of the sofa. At the jail, Luna cries to Bill that she doesn't belong there. She snapped, and it was temporary insanity. No one even tries to understand her except him. She brings up their similar backgrounds and says she knows he can relate to her. You're the only one who can. She insists she wouldn't be there if not for what her mother put her through. They will kill me in here. Help me, please, please, Bill. Luna pleads with him to get her out of there. Ivy and Will join Katie, Hope, and Carter in the main office at Forrester and to demand answers about Electra's firing. Ivy says they deserve an explanation. Will asks what she did that was so bad that they had to let her go. Ivy adds, the real reason. Carter says, show them, Katie. Katie shows Will the photo of Electra on her phone and says she's sorry, but as he can see, Electra isn't the sweet, innocent person they thought her to be. Will asks if she's serious. That's not Electra. He explains it's an AI-generated image. a deep fake. In Remy's apartment, he spots Electra as she makes a break for the door and stops her from leaving. She shouts, "It was you." He begs her to listen to him for a minute. He tells her the people at Forrester aren't her friends. They're just like the people back home and turned their backs on her. "They can't live with you, but I can't live without you, Electra." Electra saw the pictures and knows it was him who made the deep fakes. Remy tells her they'll go live in New York and he'll take care of her. Electra says he's not her friend. Remy had to do it. He couldn't let her be with Will or with anyone. Electra realizes this is why she lost her job. "You did it again, didn't you?" Remy couldn't have Will coming between them. He sent the photos to Will's mom. "I had no choice." He declares his love and begs her to come away with him, and he'll never do it again. Electra fumes that he sent those photos to Will's mom knowing she'd be fired and disgraced, and he wants her to come away with him. She vows he'll go to jail for this. Remy knows he went a little too far, but it's only because he loves her so much. Electra tries to escape, but he hollers, "Stop," and won't let her out the door. Christian Weissman has taken on a dark role. He plays obsessed stalker Remy Price on The Bold and the Beautiful. Electra has no idea what happens in Remy's apartment. The truth will be unveiled soon. In the meantime, Weissman explained the reason behind Remy's obsession. Just a friend. At first, Remy seems like an innocent character who is a good friend of Electra. His dark side was quickly revealed. Not only is Remy obsessed with Electra, but he stalks her every move. He followed her all the way to Los Angeles. In addition, Remy has an entire wall dedicated to Electra. He was also responsible for the deepfakes that surfaced on the internet. Electra just lost her job at Forrester Creations. She has no idea that Remy was responsible for ruining her career. In an interview with Insider, Weissman explained that Remy felt rejected, which is why he became so dark. Weissman loves the complexity of his character. "I think people can look at him and at first glance be like, he's crazy and he's obsessive. But as an actor, I feel I had to go from a more empathetic point of view to really connect with Remy." The actor studied his alter ego. Weissman explained that Remy has been neglected or isolated. He never felt close to his friends or family, which is why he feels so attached to Electra. Weissman claims Remy is just a hurt kid deep down, and he doesn't know how to place his emotions. Creative energy. The actor is no stranger to the small screen. Weissman's acting credits include Girls Meets World and the 2020 Saved by the Bell reboot. But he always wanted to explore the soap genre, since his mom and grandmother are big fans of Bold and The Young and the Restless. Weissman recalls the first time he got a call from B&B, which was years in the making. He first auditioned for the show when he was around 16 or 17. Sometimes he was close to nabbing a role, but it went to someone else. He never gave up, though. Getting cast as Remy worked in his favor. In addition to acting, Weissman published his first poetry book, Her, Him, and I. The project became his creative outlet. It became a safe place where he explored his emotions and sexuality after he grew up and moved to Los Angeles. Now, Weissman wants to channel that energy into Remy. "I just love being able to work on a show where they're pushing boundaries, and I feel with Remy's storyline, we're really going to cover something that doesn't get talked about a lot," he teased. What is wrong with Taylor and Brooke? Seriously, why would either of them want Ridge back? I don't care whether you're Team Trage or Team Bridge. This endless storyline makes both Taylor and Brooke look pathetic at best and in need of serious help at worst. And not for nothing, but when Ridge literally told Steffi that Taylor was his safety net, I wanted her to give dear old dad the kind of lecture she usually reserves for one of the Logans. "Excuse me," I wanted her to say, "but my mom is not here to be your safety net. She deserves better, and frankly, Dad, so do Thomas and I. Heck, if I'm being entirely honest, so does Brooke. I mean, I'll never admit that aloud in her presence, but it's true. You are a grade A, first-class jerk of a guy who deserves to be alone for the rest of his life, sitting in a corner and thinking about how his self-centered, libido-driven actions have completely destroyed 2 women and their offspring. Wait, is that allowed? For a hot second there, Hope was dropping truth bombs left and right. First, she reminded her mom that when it comes to Ridge dashing into Taylor's arms, this isn't the first time it's happened. Sure, she didn't get into details, but given that this show almost never allows characters to reference the rerun plots they're caught up in, my jaw nearly hit the floor. She then followed that up by basically suggesting her mom and Ridge might not be one another's destiny. Heck, she all but said, "Ma, you keep using that word, but I don't think it means what you think it does." Not that Brooke was listening, because 2 minutes later, she was vowing to win Ridge back by next Christmas. Lady, you just caught him canoodling with your biggest rival. Are you trying to catch a case of broken heart syndrome too? Bad boy, what you gonna do? Sometimes, Bold and Beautiful throws logic right out the window in order to move the plot forward. That was definitely the case with the Remy story this week. First, there was the weird way the scenes between Stalker Boy and Ivy played out. "Oh hi," she exclaimed, "it's nice to finally meet you." He barely acknowledged his crush's aunt, and she never introduced herself. My favorite part was watching the wildly underused Ashley Brewer as Ivy rolled her eyes and chugged wine while Remy fanboyed out. But then after Ivy ditched her niece, presumably to go back to the job Electra no longer has, Deacon sat down and promptly offered the key to Remy's apartment so that the object of his obsession could freshen up. They went out of their way to establish that Remy was in the kitchen cleaning the grill. Wouldn't it have been easy to pop in and ask his permission? But for whatever reason, the show was in a hurry to have Electra uncover Remy's secret, so logic be damned. That said, it seems likely that Remy will soon be on his way out the door, right? The show-ending scenes for next week showed him literally stalking her through what looked like a parking garage, and that doesn't really seem like the kind of thing one bounces back from. Which leaves me wondering, what was the point of this story? Can we talk? What's particularly grating is that both of this week's big stories depended on people not communicating. Katie refused to tell Will why she'd fired his girlfriend, while at the same time dropping hints that maybe he should consider breaking things off with her. But here's the thing. Katie presumably fired Electra to get ahead of any scandal which would arise when those compromising photos came to light. What if they never did? Would Katie still feel justified in her actions, both where the firing and her son's relationship are concerned? Also, and I can't stress this enough, who cares seriously, we're 1 week away from 2025. Are we really supposed to think that a couple of nude pics would bring about the downfall of Forrester Creations? And given that everybody in Electra's hometown apparently knew about the deep fake nudes circulated before, wouldn't anybody Googling Electra's name find them? Meanwhile, 2 seconds after Katie finally showed Will the photos, he was able to deduce they were fakes. Why wasn't she at least a little suspicious of them? Meanwhile, the really ridiculous scenario was unfolding around Brooke's supposed betrayal of Ridge. Maybe rather than sit around fretting, she could fire off a quick text. "Hey babe, just so you know, I took the company over so I could get it back into your hands. Let's talk." I mean, how hard would that be? Then there's Zend, fully aware of Brooke's plan. And sure, he promised not to tell, but in what universe would he not see how things are playing out and say to Brooke, "Is there some reason you're not telling him?" Because this whole mess would be resolved if you told him, or let me do it. Call me crazy, but I don't think it's too much to ask that characters on a show, which is all talk actually, talk. Random thoughts. Anybody else notice that when Ridge and Brooke looked at their respective phones, the message she'd sent before announcing she'd be the new Forrester CEO, the one saying she needed to tell him something, was missing? The absence of RJ, who is half Forrester, half Logan, continues to be absolutely baffling. He has not even been mentioned in conjunction with the coup. Heck, nobody bothered to even mention him at the holiday party. Asterisk in the past, Bold and Beautiful has sort of had everyone on the canvas say forget whatever big dramas are unfolding, it's Christmas, and we're all gonna come together and sing carols. So I liked that this year, they realized there is no way in achy double hockey sticks that it would be possible for the Logan and Forrester families to come together. That said, asterisk, why hasn't more been made of the awkward position this latest family feud has put Donna in? Yes, having Pam gift her with matching pays was fun and all, but shouldn't Donna have felt torn about not being with her girls? Asterisk, how weird is it that the Luna story is playing out only on Friday episodes? As with the other stories unspooling right now, I find myself wondering what the point of it might be. Are we supposed to think that Bill, who dumped Poppy for no discernible reason, is somehow feeling so connected to her serial-killing daughter that he's going to get her released, maybe into his custody? Asterisk, it's too bad that when Carter, Hope, and Katie took a meeting about a Forrester Creations perfume, nobody bothered to mention the time Ashley Abbott came to town to create one for the company.